What's up, everybody? Scott at Enduro America. Today I am learning a hard lesson in buying equipment sight unseen. Stay tuned. So I bought another stump grinder, sight unseen. Hadn't really checked the thing out. It just delivered it to me. The guy represented this thing as it's only got 193 hours, nothing wrong with it, everything's all good. And for the most part, it's missing some stuff. It's missing a battery, the metal battery cover, and a few other little things. The little joystick cap is gone off of it. Let me turn the camera around. So it was missing the joystick cap and the battery cover down there that sits on the back side right down here. And then today, I was going to change the teeth on it, thinking, okay, we'll service this thing up completely. I just done the oil filter, the hydraulic filter, all that good stuff. Thinking like, okay, it's going to be a good machine. New air filters, all that. Well, I was changing all the teeth on the head, and lo and behold, it starts kind of giving me a little wiggle, and I thought, ooh, that's really not good. So I stopped, I took the side cover off, and I'll put that picture right here. So that's what it looked like, was 3 little tiny ball bearings just sitting there on the bottom and completely roached out. So here's what I'm looking at here. I'll turn this around again. So there's the head, there's the motor, the hydraulic motor right here. So this comes off as basically you have to pull the motor out, you have to pull the 4 bolts out of this to pull the entirety of that wheel off. So you've got a bearing inside this cone, which that one actually feels decent. I'm going to redo that anyway, just, because I want that to be good too, since we're doing this side. But this was the bearing. This is the race that's actually stuck to the shaft. That we're not going to get that off of there. Lucky for us, Barreto sells this entire piece, so I think there's like 6 bolts here you can just pull off on this piece right here. And that whole thing basically comes out of there. It separates these 2 halves, where the cone is and where this is, because you can see the nuts that are on this side. But we're going to pull that off. I just ordered the whole new shaft, the bearing, which comes as this little square piece, so you just slide that on there and you're good to go again, and the cover. And then I ordered all new hardware too, just because I don't want to mess around with the old stuff. If it's kind of crappy, I mean, I could probably send it through the wire wheel or whatever, but new stuff is always better, especially when you have all new components here too. So found that. Well, then as I'm pulling these out, I get to the last one, and I'm noticing like it's kind of cockeyed a tiny bit, and it was really difficult to get out. So let me pull this motor out of here again. It's just heavy. So these are all wallered out, which is fantastic. And I was looking at that, and I was talking with the rep over at Barreto, and looking up trying to find a spec on that, because I was going to measure this side, and then do the same exact thing. I'd have to just weld these and then re-drill them. But this is a very intricate piece. I mean, you've got a shaft that has to run through here. And again, I am not an engineer or a machinist or anything like that, but I mean, I'm competent enough to know that if that's not straight, if that's not going straight through there, that head's going to be screwed up, and it's just going to keep throwing bearings out on both sides. So I didn't want that, especially for the next owner to have to deal with. So I ordered an entire new head assembly, which is this whole piece here, this whole thing, all the way down to where it connects down here, and then it also connects in this section right here with this hydraulic piece here. So that everything here's got to come off, the motor, this guard. So this whole thing is going to get replaced now, which again I'm not super thrilled about, because this was supposed to be like a quick flip. I was going to buy this thing, service it, put new teeth, new filters everywhere, run it, make sure it was good to go for the next guy. And now we're throwing, I don't know, a little over an extra $1,000 back into it again to get it right, which it is what it is at this point. It's not a big deal. I just wasn't expecting that, and I'm trying to show you guys that if you buy any of these machines like this, these are all things that you should really look out for prior to purchasing them. I was the dummy that just bought it and sent the guy the money and shipped it to me, and I lost out. It is what it is. I mean, it's not the first time. It's probably not going to be the last time. But there's a lesson to be learned when you're purchasing things like this. So we've got that going on in the shop. I've got the trencher completed now. We've got new decals and stuff on it. So if anybody is interested in either of these machines, this one is like brand new. This was a 2022 model. Zero issues with this thing. I've actually been using it out at the house. I just cleaned it up and stuck it back in the shop here. But this has been fantastic. It's the ride-on type. And if you guys have never ran one of these, like, they're awesome and they're so easy to operate. Little Honda motor in it. And boy, does it just... I've never really ran a trencher before this one. And it's fantastic. So if you guys are interested in any of the equipment, I've got that trencher. I've got 2 of these stump grinders that are going to be... The other one is ready to go. This one... The other one was actually the one I was using at my personal house and properties and stuff, trying to get the stumps all out with the big backyard project. This one should be ready. It's probably going to be a month now because I'm going to be traveling a little bit. And I'm actually going to head to Dallas and pick up the parts rather than having them ship here because I'm going to be out there anyway. So it makes more sense for me to pick the parts up out there rather than spend another $500 trying to get this gigantic palletized head out to our place here. But if you guys have any questions, leave a comment and tell me what you would do with this thing. I don't know if somebody would do something differently, or if they would just take the time to kind of measure all that out and weld it and whatever. I don't think my skills aren't that fantastic. I mean, I can stick metal together, but doing something like this is a little bit different, and you want it to be as precise as possible. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you do. Let me know if you're interested in any equipment, and we can chat.